Okay, President Trump, you might be saving yourself. This is what we needed. This week, you had major flubs. I mean, biggest ever, worst ever. Okay. You calling your base stupid, like Democrats, that was kind of offensive. But I've got thick skin. Now you're coming up with this, but I'm a little suspicious, and here's why. It's because they used a particular term that seems to pop up a lot when, not this particular term, but it's a way to present something without actually presenting anything. Okay. And it says here, breaking President Trump asked AG Bondi to produce any and all pertinent grand jury testimony in Epstein case. Sounds good, but the problem is what do you mean by pertinent? We want faces of evil, wicked men doing this stuff. We want the names that have, in fact, been attributed to the child trafficking and rape. Okay, that's what we want. We don't want videos of children abuse. What we want is seeing those evil, wicked men paraded in this world for shame, for judgment, so that we can get rid of this rot. That's what we want. Okay. I'm Rob Reese. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I'm just a regular guy. I'm a Christian. I like following politics, and of course, drama is kind of attention getting, right? And this is what is filling our timelines. And I think that Christians have for too long avoided understanding the world around them and talking to it, because what we do as Christians is confront evil, confront wickedness with the power of the gospel and the command of the Lord Jesus Christ. I speak on behalf of God when I present you with scripture. I am not infallible. I am not perfect, but I know some things for certain, and it is because God has told me it was, in fact, from Him. And what we want is truth. We want justice. We want to know that bad guys, evil, wicked men are not running this world, are not running our country, and that they cannot get away with evil acts. We won't take it. We're not going to receive that well. That is why there has been such a backlash. It's not because we are just so inundated with uh, with just salaciousness all the time. We don't care about the salacious details. We just want to see if there is a connection with wicked men and this criminal act. Just like we're incensed with illegal immigrants in our country, just like we're incensed about DEI, just like we're incensed about spending and the ability for Americans to afford simple things like a home. Just like we're incensed about those things, we are, if not more, incensed about understanding that if our world is run by purely wicked men with wicked desires, with wicked behaviors like child abuse, we want that system burned and to hell with the consequences. How do you not understand this? Okay, this might be a mental thing to believe, but I think that letting evil continue in any way, shape, or form, just like the abortion situation, all of it needs to be exposed. All of it needs to be dealt with and publicly disseminated so that we can hold people accountable. Okay, you know why there's a growing trend of hatred of police? It's because the law doesn't apply equally to them. They get qualified immunity. We see the uh, illegal stops. We see people wrongfully arrested. We see people treated poorly by our law enforcement officers. It's all wicked. I want nothing to do with it. So let's dig in and see what this story actually says. It says President Donald Trump announced Thursday that he has instructed Attorney General Pam Bondi to seek the release of grand jury testimony related to the Jeffrey Epstein case, calling the ongoing media focus surrounding the matter a scam. Now, this goes back a few days when he was doing a press conference at the airport, and he was saying that this is all a Democrat scam. And now we have even more information. I believe the Wall Street Journal just put something out. Okay, let's see here. Wall Street Journal. All right, let's see here. Epstein. Let's do Epstein, Trump. Okay. Look at this. 4 hours ago, Jeffrey Epstein friends sent him body letters for 50th birthday album. One was from Donald Trump. And what's in this story is nonsense. I don't have a subscription and I'm not going to pay for one. But it was a simple little birthday message sent years before the guy was convicted of anything. And on top of it, all of the elites know each other for the most part. We understand this, and we understand that there's a sifting that needs to be done, and that guilt by association is not the gold standard of whether or not somebody is guilty of something. So, release the stuff, Trump. Release the stuff. For years, we've been told, especially by you, that this was bad news for some people, and that you knew of certain things, rumblings in the grapevine. But let me tell you, with the complete 180 that you've made this week, with bashing your base, not called for, man. Totally not cool. Now, the post-millennial continues to write, based on the ridiculous amount of publicity given to Jeffrey Epstein, I've asked Attorney General Pam Bondi to produce any and all pertinent grand jury testimony, subject to court approval. That's the full quote. Okay, that gives me even more pause as to the legitimacy of this. This scam perpetuated by the Democrats should end right now. Okay, you have not provided any evidence of this being a scam other than the other things that they have done. You've got to put the dots together if you want us to believe that. You've got to present us a case. You're not going to just be able to say, believe me. Sorry, that doesn't work anymore. And of course, Charlie Kirk having to chime in. Listen, I like Charlie. I like a lot of these conservative influencers, Benny Johnson and the like, but we've got to get out of this trust our buddies in government thing, okay? Because for obvious reasons, they can have a position that is, I want to protect this country because the information might be damning and don't want to get out. Sounds noble, but I don't believe that is a virtue considering the information that we have. Why in the world would we want a system propped up by evil men doing wicked things with children? If that's the case, I want nothing to do with this, and I think we all should go back 400, 500 years and start over, okay? We did it before, we can do it again. But that's my radical Christianity in me. Now, shortly after Trump's statement, Bondi responded publicly, President Trump, we are ready to move to the court tomorrow to unseal the grand jury transcripts. The move comes just hours after Trump blasted the Wall Street Journal for publishing what claims is a fake letter tying him to Epstein. Trump said both the newspaper and Rupert Murdoch were warned the document was a forgery and would lead to legal action. Now, this is a good play on Trump's part because I'm sure this is fake. Now, even if it was real, I already mentioned that this was years before he was convicted of anything. And of course, all of the major money elites in the world, intelligence agencies had their hand already on him. So it's not surprising to me that the Wall Street Journal especially would put out something fake. And then, of course, the response from Trump would be to sue. And he's won almost every other suit against newspapers and news outlets as of recent. And I would presume that this would happen in this case as well. Now, it continues on the post millennial article. It comes after President Donald Trump announced that he would sue the Wall Street Journal over a report claiming he sent sexually suggestive birthday letter to Jeffrey Epstein in 2003, calling the story fake and denying any connection to the drawing allegedly bearing his signature. Guys, guys, why do you see me doing this and you are the most loud right when I do this? Why? No, it's time to lay down. You have a passy? Go and lay down. Sorry about that. I had to deal with my kids. Anyway, the Journal reported Thursday that Trump wrote Epstein a note featuring typewritten text surrounded by a marker sketch of a naked woman. The drawing, according to the outlet, includes arcs representing breasts and a signature beneath the waist area resembling pubic hair. The message ended with the line, "Happy birthday, and may every day be another wonderful secret." Now, uh, this is debaucherous if it were in fact real, but I don't believe it's real. It sounds completely made up, and it sounds like a teenager in high school did this, okay? Now, the letter was allegedly part of a leather bound birthday book compiled by Ghislaine Maxwell and gifted to Epstein for his 50th birthday. Trump flatly denied the claims, telling the Journal, "This is not me. This is a fake thing. It's a fake Wall Street Journal story. I never wrote a picture in my life. I don't draw pictures of women. It's not my language. It's not my words." He also said he had warned both Rupert Murdoch and the Journal editor Emma Tucker not to run the story, and now plans to sue News Corp and others for defamation. And this is what gives me a little bit of pause based on what's been happening all week long. Because when he came out and started bashing his base about the Epstein story, if you remember, he was talking about how they're believing a Democrat hoax. Okay, they're believing in a narrative that is known to be perpetuated by the Democrats. Every turn they had, what when he was president the first time, they would try to go after him. They tried pinning him with so many different crimes. The case in New York City, the bank situation, the 34 counts, the rape charges. I mean, they did everything possible to go after this man, and none of it stuck. Okay, they indicted him a couple of times. They also impeached him a couple of times, and none of it took effect. As a matter of fact, it made him even more popular. So I'm thinking, is this some type of backwards timeline that Trump was trying to get ahead of? And so what he did was not directly mention the story or anything, but he did in fact connect a dot that is certainly plausible. And that dot is when he said, you're believing a Democrat hoax, and all the other pejoratives that he had said in that press conference. Um, was he front loading really the narrative in order to pursue this suit, right? Um, it says that he said that they shouldn't run it, that it was fake to them. That means he had prior knowledge of its release, and they decided to release it, and he decided to preempt it uh, during the press conference earlier in the week by stating that this was a hoax. Okay. And of course, he has a long laundry list of evidence to prove that these people do dirty work. And of course, the idea is um, that these things are completely made up. It has a different signature than what Donald Trump normally signs. Uh, There's no actual physical evidence they decided to show in the article, and it just all smells a little fishy. Uh, but we still want the truth. We still need the truth. And you're not going to be able to convince us just by saying, shut up, go away. We're not looking to this any further. We've released everything that's pertinent. Well, obviously, that's not the case because now you're starting to release a little bit more information. There's disingenuity going on here. Okay, there's a level of deception you're engaged in, and whether that's for the purpose of combating the Democrats or truly alienating your base, who you want no more to talk about this. Let me tell you, we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it a lot, and if these things don't get released, we're just going to go ahead and think that you're part of the entire swamp that you promised to drain in your first term. So that's all I got. Thanks a lot. This is Rob Reese with Theo Wars. Take it easy, and we'll see you guys next time.